Hello, everyone. What day is it? Happy Friday. Happy Friday. How is everyone doing? Last day of the week. Yay for us. Good morning, Sterling. Good morning, John. Yeah, this is after you're taking companies that actually should go bankrupt and you're pumping up their stock, then they can do secondaries. You know what? Okay, we're sticking it to the man. No, you're actually enabling. It's just all silly. Don't trade this crap vertical up, vertical down. Okay? All right, you're just prolonging their existence. Tilray's doing it too. Okay. What GameStop is 45 million shares. Uh what else do we have? Thanks, Sterling, for putting that up. G7 countries energy will surge due to AI. Energy needs will surge. Is that inflationary or deflationary? Just wondering. Just wondering. And Roe in the building. Roe, good morning. What else? What else? What else? Yeah, trillions of dollars will need. We need to build data centers because AI is going to save us. AI is going to drive us off the cliff. Okay, this is interesting though. Sterling, again, we shouted out Sterling yesterday. Let's just give him one more shout out for ending the week. 9% of 1.12 trillion of credit card debt transitioning into delinquency. It's 100 billion. Yeah, auto loans are also 8% of the auto loans. Oh, but everything's fine. Don't worry. People can't afford, the average person can't afford stuff. The average person is really tapping it out right now. And are we seeing deflation or even disinflation across the board? No. Are they keeping up? Are they keeping? We need a correction. We need, and we with this next correction, when it happens, I'm talking housing, everything. Please stop bailing out everybody. Please, you let it friggin' correct because the bailouts are going to one area, and if you're irresponsible and you bought 10 Airbnbs and all this other crap and all these rental homes you're sitting on that aren't even getting rented out, you know what? You deserve to take a hit. You deserve, and I'm not even talking companies, I'm talking individuals. All right, there's a house right around the corner from me. That was purchased for 650 in at the end of December. All right, this same place pre-pandemic went in the 200s. So, 650. And this is and I lived in this neighborhood before. It's a good, now it's turned sort of into lower middle class. Before it was a good solid middle class neighborhood. Uh and so they bought it. I don't know whether they have a mortgage or they paid cash. It really doesn't matter. But they've put it up for rent for 3,700 a month. It's been sitting there, and I looked. It was listed first for rent back on January 9th. It's been sitting there. And what I've noticed is because they have a little patch of grass, it sometimes goes a month without getting taken care of and gets really long. Uh, but it would not be a bad place to rent for a family. But again, 3,700 is a lot of money. Now it's been sitting vacant. It's now May 17th. No price reductions. Would you be sitting on a rental property you bought? Oh, by the way, they're trying to, if you want to rent to own it, it's 4,900 a month. Well, this is not a deluxe neighborhood I'm living in right now. Okay? Not a, it's a nice neighborhood, safe neighborhood, great for raising a family. 5,000 rent to own. A lot of families don't have that kind of money to just throw at a rent to own property in not okay. But they haven't even reduced the price. They're sitting on a vacant property, not even reducing the price, not even saying, we'll go 3,600. Let's see if we can get somebody in here. It's just pure stupid. There's so much stupid out there with money sloshing around on the higher end still, when the lower, the middle end is tapping out. We need a correction that does not bail out the wealthy. We really do. Because we keep bailing out. We bail out banks where people are holding, I had 10 million. Oh, we only have FDIC insurance for 250. Well, let's bail them out. If you're stupid enough to do that, I'm sorry. You're stupid. You lose your money. There's many ways you can hedge. There's many ways you can split stuff around. There's many ways you can set up a trust, and then for all the people on the trust, you get 250,000 of. You put the bank account in the trust. There's lots of ways you can do this. If you don't bother, then you deserve to lose your money. Okay, and stop. We're going to give first-time home buyers an additional tax credit. You know what? If you didn't jam all this money in the friggin' system and run everything up and enable morons to buy multiple properties and just sit on them, happy Friday. By the way, there's not much coming out. We'll get to say hi to everybody else. Consumer Board, 10 a.m. Eastern. So in what's that? 50 minutes? That's right. And then we got Waller speaking. By the way, we have Fed speak over the weekend. All right. I'm mute button. We don't need Fed speak over the weekend, and we don't need to look at just a preview for next week. Blah. You can't have. What do these clowns need to say anymore? All right. Buy now, pay later. Spending expected to hit a record $80 billion in 2024, and people are having to do buy now, pay later for groceries. But everything's okay. Everything's okay. Just go into more debt. If there's one more friggin' bailout, I'm going to lose it. Good morning, Martinez. Good morning, Jake. Good morning, Anissa. Hey, good morning, Daniel. Good morning, Jacob. Good morning, Legion Reaver. Oh, could somebody do me a favor, by the way? I was having some trouble yesterday with the email. Could somebody email support@pathtradingpartners.com? And could you do it actually during the live stream real quick? And if it bounces, let me know in the live stream chat. Yeah, I was actually going to cover spot silver today. I pay $600 a month at 2% interest with 2 bedrooms and 2 acres in the middle of nowhere. It's all about location. Well, a lot of people can't do that. They don't have the luxury of being in the middle of nowhere. You know what? And I've looked around because I'll go. I actually know this area quite well, even the Phoenix area, because I again lived here for years before, and the prices of stuff in what I consider lower class, very working class neighborhoods, they're through the roof. I don't know how people are affording it. I really don't. It's through the absolute roof. Even if you go to the middle of nowhere around here, you're paying a fortune. Around in Arizona at this point. So what do you do? If you work in Arizona, I'll just leave. I mean, a lot of people don't have that luxury. Hey, Coco is here. Coco, why does it keep changing? Dark screen sleep can't afford anything. I don't know what's going to push things over the edge. It's going to be I don't know. And remember, things can stay insane a lot longer than you think. Didn't Dodd-Frank, what's supposed to regulate? All these regulations don't do crap. They just enable the certain aspects to figure out how to rig it even more. That's why I'm a friggin' libertarian, because the more laws you pass, the more complicated it gets. The more corporations, and the bigger it punishes the small companies who can't keep up with regulations and don't have a whole legal team and a whole accountant team. It just rewards already things that are established that are too big. Hey, Charles. Good morning, Heinrich. Good morning, Options 22. Where are you, Options 22, in the world right now? You emailed me and it did not bounce back. Thank you. Cocoa. Well, it's good to see cocoa occasionally. You need your cup of cocoa occasionally. All right. Well, Coco, you were at 24 before, by the way. You raised it from 20 to 24. We're not by 24 yet. So nothing going on today, and Fed speak this weekend. Right now, AMD still up pre-market. Uh, that's one of the biggest movers. That's one of the biggest movers. Just sort of a mixed market. Again, very quiet this morning so far. Groups. Let's do a quick refresh. But it's really only comm services slightly negative. Basic materials leading, and we'll take a look at stuff like silver in a second. FedWatch tool. This is drop below 50 for the potential cut in September, but nothing's really changed there. Fear and greed still solidly back in greed mode. No earnings. Remember today, there's nothing that there's anything worth reporting, so that's going bye-bye. All right. We've had a substantial run. There's NVIDIA, by the way. We've had a substantial run. I mean, we finally got the sell-off and then the massive correction leading to new highs in the futures. Yesterday, new high pulling back to the key about 53.15 level. Roughly corresponding to yesterday's low. If we start breaking below there, you can see it's pulled back there. If we start breaking below that, remember, still a clear path move, and the target area is about 52.96 to 52.92 is the first key target area. Let's take a look at the bigger picture, though. We're trying to roll over with daily cycles. Now, weeklies are still climbing, and we still have the potential double top. Nothing's done that to take that off. Next week, besides Fed speak, also is not much to start the week. Now, you do have Fed meeting next Wednesday. So, personally, I would not get aggressive short in this thing because we could even have a rough sideways correction at these recent highs. So, we are still in overbought condition, but we could be also setting up for some divergences with waning momentum after this absolute terror of a move. I mean, what do we do with this week? This was a percent beat buy on a weekly, right? Sorry, no, it wasn't. Sorry, one market was. I forget which it was. But we can easily sit there and pause. We have a little more run up potentially on a weekly basis, or at least a sideways move. If for something to happen and to break out to new highs today, which would take a lot, I'd just use your minor. And this is for day traders. I'd use your minor reverse harmonics like that. For everybody else on any rally, I'd watch 53.33 area as a key target, and then the next key target would be 53.42 for anything to the upside. Again, your key support's 53.14, and then I already listed the other levels below. The NASDAQ, again, basing so far, just sideways. If it does pull back, my key level is still 18,580. 18,580. This is more so of a channeling flag pattern. So, and trading against right now, key resistance 18,695 to 18,700. Above there, you don't have much until you're talking about right around 18,750. And then again, for anybody intraday, and this is for the short-term scalp stuff only, just make sure I'd again use the reverse harmonics are really just the way that's how I use them, especially at the where you're at highs. If it starts breaking down, the key level for starting to break down is right around 18,635 for me. And then if it really breaks down, you get something backfilling. There's some minor at about that 18,580, but then the targets into this clear path, the first target is about 18,510. The Dow. And again, when I have a day like this after a week with a massive run up and there's nothing out besides those consumer board leading indices, which are still supposed to be negative, but the market doesn't seem to be even reacting to those. This is a day I don't do stupid. I mean, stick around personally. Stick around for the open, and then if nothing's going on, don't force trading today. You can get yourself in more trouble than it's worth. The Dow, see against this little prior support becoming resistance. If it breaks above there, it's a pretty easy target area, about 40,100. That's the target, and then roughly 4180. Just don't do stupid. Today, there's certain days that it's better to just take it easy. That's one of the luxuries if you can do this. Boy, I'm saying actually a lot this morning. Somebody correct me on that. If you can do this as a full-time job, there are certain days that you do get the luxury of, hey, there's not much going on. The market action might just be crap. Take the day off. Take the day off. The Russell breaking below some very key support right now, so it would have to get back above about 2106 for I to be interested in anything from alongside besides a scalpy thing at key resistance. I mean, at key support. But the next key support level is about 2096. VIX, we're at the, look at those, getting very, very complacent again. So, not much to talk about there. The DAX, we've had now a confirmed double, but not triggered on any major time frame yet. So, still watch for at least preferably a 4-hour with a daily follow-through close. 18,736 is the low price. It's tested it to confirm it, but it has not officially triggered it yet, and you're going against the rotation zone. So lower probability. That's the only thing. Now, if you're watching for something, these could actually be good levels for pullbacks. I said it again. Notes. Coming back, there's actually some... there is key support right around this 109.08, 08.5. The yield, key resistance 4.444.45 after coming down. Now this is going to be watching where this closes. It's already broken above yesterday's high, but it needs to follow through with the close. And that's for only a possible bounce back to that 4.44 at this point. That's only a scalpy % B buy. Hey, Leggy, what are you doing? Legend. No. All right. Sorry about that. Dollar index. Dollar index also. It's already weakening back to yesterday's high, so that's a % B scalpy buy, so it was already through that high, but it has to close above there. There's just not proper risk reward from my perspective with that. I'll just be watching where it closes. Crude, still now turning into potentially the double bottom still in play, but really looks like it could extend sideways. Gold moving on back up. Remember, we closed back above the 62.5 on the 15th, and now taking out the 75. Next target up is 24.28. This gives the potential, puts it in potential double top territory. So from a longer term perspective, that is a great trailing area now. That would have to trigger, because otherwise the trend is still strongly up in gold. But that is a great place. Silver. So silver nearly did it invalidate the double. The level for the invalidation of the potential double is $30.82. 30.79. Technically not invalidating double. It probably will be, but that's where that sits. It's coming into a very key cluster right here. A very key cluster. Cycles at the top, very overbought. I will be watching for at least a pause. A pause. Again, silver's also got a lot of industrial use. Very inflationary from a PPI standpoint, just like copper. If you want to know what the next target for, if you're trailing long, this is another one. The breakout, the return to the rotation zone on the weekly, and the key rotation higher. 3189 is the next key target. If it can get through this cluster, this is a very strong cluster right here, which is why I'm watching for at least a pause to start rolling cycles over and get it out of overbought in the short term. The two areas of support just below 30, about 29.90, and then major support back at 29. Copper, and a perfect example so far of a sideways correction. With volatility, but a sideways correction. See how it's based, moving sideways with the 8 EMA coming back up. So the minor targets up there, if it does break above the most recent highs, and with this pullback area on copper, watch today where it closes in relation to 501. A close above 501 shifts the short-term probabilities to at least test 508, 509, and then the breakout would be to 521 and 529. Kalani loves AZ. Well, I love AZ. The next time you want to try to play something in the stupid meme world, and there will be another opportunity to learn about options butterflies. Where's Waka? I haven't seen Waka. I haven't seen Waka in a long time. Yeah, but 12 million new people who need to be able to afford a home also. Keep that in mind. Yes, we've let a lot of people in through the borders. You have to be able to afford something. And even neighborhoods that could be suitable for a lot of newly arrived people are not affordable. For the weekly percent beat buy on gold, would you just use a 62.5 retracement for a stop and then use a double top for longer term positions in gold to take some off? You can definitely do that, Jake. Jake's learning. Everybody's learning so much here. I'm glad. Thank you for being here, everyone. The yen, again, the key level for me is still 157.09. Euro, little pullback. There's a very key support level at this 108.02. Now we are in the major potential reversal zone that we entered Wednesday and Thursday, but we don't have confirmation that we have a great topping pattern just yet. So we'll be watching for the secondary reaction. With that, spiders, these spiders, not much to talk about. 532 is the next key. The double's not invalidated yet in the spiders. It's got to trade through 532.30. The pullback area today, we're looking 528.82. So roughly to the gap fill yesterday would be 528.69. But if it breaks below there, still the magnet price will be from Wednesday's open. 525.83, and then there's still another gap fill, 523.30. Back below, and that's to get it back to the daily rotation zone. Very overbought cycles at the top, but the weeklies, remember, still have possibly a little more room to run into next week. So this potential double could easily be taken off in the spiders and the Qs. The Qs would have to get above 458.41 to take it off. The key area to watch for today, we're going to gap up slightly, so 451.98 to take it to yesterday's close, and then the major support level coming back at about 449.50. Good old Bitcoin still not closing above 67,256. That's what it needs to do to shift it back to retest more of the high area. Not much to talk about there. I did AMC and GME call butterflies, where I was able to risk 5 per butterfly to potentially make 95 each. They will expire worthless today, but it was a fun, very small gamble, not a trade. Again, I have no problem. I consider it doing, your Vegas account. You can set aside even a separate account or a partial in your account. And this would be like going to Vegas and saying, hey, you know what? I want to sit down at slot machine or blackjack or roulette, and I'm going to risk, whatever. Yeah, if I happen to hit something, great. If I happen to lose it, fine. Won't affect my lifestyle at all. Won't affect my trading account at all. Okay? But that's what it is. It's not a thing that you're going to take anywhere even close to the majority. I mean, it should be a tiny percentage. Like I'm talking lunch money kind of percentage, where, hey, Sterling risks $5 per butterfly to make 95 each. Going to expire worthless. Let's say he did both AMC and G. He risked $10, which literally is lunch money at this point. So skip lunch. But that's the point. You don't. The people who are saying this is my trading strategy, I'm going to go all in with this, with the memes, and then they get wiped out because it's vertical up, vertical down. Which is, if you look at a housing chart, housing is. See, look at this, vertical up, vertical down. Yeah, if it followed through, Sterling, with his call flies, could have made something. But again, he would have. Then he could have had a nice dinner with his family. Let's say one of them hit, he turned 5 into 95, but it was pure risk money. Remember, if you're just looking at this, back on Wednesday it closed below 62.5, and now the magnet price is still down. Oh, but they issued, it doesn't matter. Just use your technical analysis and don't get caught up in stupid. Yesterday in GameStop, closed back below the 60. Look, on Wednesday, coming back down, spiking between the 50 and 62.5, and then closing below it. So once it started to take out Wednesday's low, should be a clear sign, and then followed through at the close that, hey, the probabilities are probably shifting lower. We got gaps left behind. Look where the 87.5 is in reference to gaps left behind. Wouldn't be surprised to see GameStop next week at 1750 again. And at the major support base, vertical up, vertical down. Some things can take longer, but these actually don't have anything truly viable to justify. GameStop had nothing truly viable to justify a $60 price point. All right, market's open. Sorry for the extra stuff today. Let's just see where we sit. Let's take a look, because again, we don't want to do stupid on a Friday. It's a very range-bound open. Not a super moderately strong, but not super strong tick compared to recently. So I'd be personally, based when I see this, it would need something either idly towards scalpy or sitting on my hands. And if the only way I'd be scalping is if it got to a very key support or resistance level to do something. Other than that, that's where we sit. I hope everyone has a fantastic, fantastic weekend. Step away from the computer a bit. Then remember, we got next week, and then it's Memorial Day weekend the following Monday. So boy, May's just flying by. This year is flying by. With that, all right, I'm going to be watching for this to pull back into some key support areas at 53.15 to see if we can get any support down there. With that, again, wonderful weekend, wonderful day, and I will talk to everybody next week. Thank you for tuning in, Coco. Yeah, on the way out, leave some likes. On the way out, leave some likes. I'll talk to everyone later. Bye for now.